My name is Lisa Gilliam, and I have my friend Chelsey Green on here with me. Just give me a second. I had some technical difficulties yesterday. It
We
was
both
not
had
Chelsea's fault
technical.
at all. But we are two smart, educated women. We were trying to figure it out. We were able to figure it out. And
Yeah,
so I just want to make sure everything is working.
for real.
That's funny. Yeah. So before we went further, I wanted to like give you a chance, Chelsey, just to tell people about you. I'm a fan, y'all. And I've told her that we've known each other. I, I don't know when she performed at my old church one day, and I was like hooked. She's one of the most talented musicians, and when I found out she sang too, I was just like, "Where you been hiding all of that?" So, Chelsey, tell people about yourself.
Well, I am. It's so nice to have a chance to chat and do this. We have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, so I'm glad we can finally do it. But I am a fan of yours, also another musician, and
Aww.
just I'm a violinist, a vocalist. I've been playing my whole life, like as far back as I can remember, and I'm grateful to be able to do it now. I have my own ensemble, Chelsey Green and the Green Project, and we've performed and toured around the world and released and recorded music. So just grateful in spite of and grateful for what is to come, further beyond what I even know. And I'm grateful for this opportunity for us to fellowship
Yay.
on the internet.
Yes, absolutely. So I just shared it to your page. So hopefully you can see. I probably should tag you in this too, so that you are live on Facebook as well.
Okay.
So for you all that don't know, like she just said, she does a lot. So you may hear a delay between us, but that's because we're working with Ethernet and non-Ethernet. So just listen to what you can get out of it. But this basically started a few weeks ago. First of all, I got to shout out my brother, my play brother, Edmund, did my One Singing Lady shirt. So if y'all can get your own, I got to shout out my peeps. That's how I do. Same as Edmund. His is hey Shelby and Chelsey. Do you know Shelby? She's I don't know if she can see the comment, but she is putting comments on there. Shelby and I went to Virginia Union together. So she said hello to us
Hello.
both. So we are I'm trying to tag you and I'm not doing too well. So
It tagged
I'll just wait. I can't multitask because this is my first time on Be
no.
Live.
It tagged
But
me. It
anyway,
tagged me and
just want to give a
Natalie.
shout out to I did.
Yes.
You said I did tag? Okay. All
Yes.
right, cool. All right. So this started like a few weeks ago. I was watching Just Right, which I love that movie. And Chelsey had some comments that made me think. And that, I love the fact that, two women can come together and talk about whatever it is they're thinking. Both of us happen to be single. I know I don't want to be, but that's my state right now. But we just had some really interesting comments about that. So I wanted Chelsey to share like basically what she thought. Now we love comment. Well, I do. You love comment?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, come on now,
Okay.
absolutely. But I think it's important for everyone to like really put themselves in the mindset of the synopsis of the movie first, right? So let's kind of
Yes.
talk about the movie first. So Just Right, this movie with Queen Latifah and Common and Paula Patton. Okay, they play characters
Yes.
where Common is a very well known basketball star, and Paula Patton is the, very pretty, typical, like, quote unquote, kind of real housewives type of character persona. And Queen Latifah is the down to
Mhm.
earth, really into his basketball career and really loves him from a different place. And she becomes his physical therapist and nurses him back to health. And there's this whole thing, right? So I remember reading on your page when you posted about how you love the movie, I commented that I love to hate this movie. And it's not because I don't love the movie and I love all the characters in the movie. It's just I have a really big issue with one of the major parts of the storyline. I don't understand why the Queen Latifah type
Okay.
character has to always get the seconds, has to be second place. When can we be first place?
All I can say to that is woo.
I mean, because
Yes,
there are.
absolutely. And I had to admit, sorry, it's a delay
No,
right
no,
now.
go ahead, go ahead.
Hold on, y'all. Okay. I had to, admit that I've been in that place in my life. I've been in second. I've settled when I shouldn't have, and or I didn't fight from jump when I should have. And so it just kind of started this conversation. Let me know if you all can hear Chelsea. Just
Yeah,
type it
let me
in
know
there
if
because right now I
it's,
can't.
it's like a little delay, but yeah. So I mean, I think
Okay, I can hear you
okay.
now.
I think that what really stood out for me in the movie was that when Paula Patton dumps him the first time because he gets injured, and he feels dejected, he feels rejected. She left him because his career wasn't going to be doing anything, and then Queen Latifah's character comes in and professionally nurses him back to health, but also emotionally nurses him back to health. She makes sure he knows he's good enough. She reassures that he is worth it in so many different ways, worth it much beyond his skills on the court, about how he's impacting the community and his value in the community, and how he's not only he can not only be her king, but he could be a very big inspirational role model for the community at large. And she does all of this stuff. And then as soon as his career gets back going, here comes Paula Patton. Knock, knock, knockety knock. And he actually entertains her again as an option.
Yes.
Even after all
So
of what
frustrating.
Queen Latifah's character has done, you're like, wow. And then, because I remember somebody on your post said, I love how Queen Latifah created boundaries, or she set up some boundaries. And I said, did she really set up boundaries? Because at the end of the movie, she ends up taking it back anyway. So are those really boundaries? Because to me, that's really not. You are okay for being second best.
That's what got me thinking
Mm-hmm.
when you said
Mm-hmm.
that. I was
Right.
just like, oh my gosh, if you think about it, that's kind of true. It is still, she still was pining for this person that she loved,
Right.
and
Right.
she was not, she was willing to step back because of her love for her friend. But I mean, and I like Paula. She's beautiful, but why? I'm beautiful too. Chelsea's beautiful too. I feel like we're more like Queen Latifah girls. In fact, people have compared me to Queen Latifah. Like over the years, especially when I used to have some hair. At one point, I did. That's a whole different point. Um, but I feel like, why do we have to do all the work just so that somebody else can step in and get, what we kind of sold into? And she did it with a pure heart. She wasn't even gunning for him. She wasn't even trying to come for him. In fact, it was because of her that Paula's character was able to go to the party in the first place to do her little turnaround mess. I was so mad at her. I was like, you don't do your friend like that. This girl genuinely has love for Common's character, just like for who he is. And then you go and do your little trick to try to, get him to like pine after you. And the fact when she came back and she realized, she was wrong, you knew it was still all monetary focus. It was all about the money and esteem and power, and had nothing to do with like real genuine love for who he was. So I'm really glad that he came back to his senses. But why do we even got to get to that point? Why can't you just recognize from jump?
That's it's just such a touchy subject because I think that I think he knew. Of course, his character shows hints that he knew it was kind of wrong to entertain the Paula Patton character again. And he did it with reservation, and you could see that in his portrayal of the character. But I think that is so wrong because it develops hurt, and hurt is the issue. Hurt is the issue so many times. And I think that is what makes relationships challenging. Hurt that has not been healed in so many ways. So it becomes almost like you're going towards the person who can, make you not feel as hurt or help you heal. And then that person feels some type of way because they have to always be the healer. And so it's like this generational domino effect of, healing the hurt that are hurt from those that are not healed. It's kind of like, wait, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And I think that
Right.
we really have to work on communicating these things early, like, because I don't know how vulnerable a partner wants to be very early on in a relationship. So that can make it hard for you to say, "Hey, you know, do you have any people on the back burner? Please tell me now because you can help 4 months down from here, like I don't want no surprise text messages or, anything like that. Help me
Right.
understand what's going on, right?"
Right. If you all can't hear, it might be another delay. Just it'll come back in a second.
Oh no, we might be having a delay. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, try that again. I can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know where it cut off, but I was just saying, we really just have to communicate up front. If there's anybody on the back burner, like just let me know. Let me know now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
No. And it's not good because, like I told you, I've been on the other side, knowingly and unknowingly. People who know me, who follow me, who knows, whether it's on Wednesday when I do my Wednesday word, or whether you've heard me sing, preach, speak, whatever. I tell my business so other people can be healed. I am not healed yet from some things. And for
mhm.
me, talking through it, and I'm a counselor who goes to counseling, you know, for me, talking about things like this helps me to heal. It helps me to make better decisions and choices. And I don't do it because I have it all figured out. I do it because I don't want anybody else to have to go through the stuff I went through to get even to this point or this realization. I am 46. I will be 47 in I don't know, May 18th, however many weeks that is.
Right.
And this is not the life that I thought I was going to have. I'm glad I didn't settle when it came to marriage before, but I also know that there are some areas in my life that I did settle too. And so one of the things that you brought up was, did Queen Latifah, and if you see me type in, I'm also responding to what's happening on Facebook so that people leave messages. But
Oh,
um,
okay.
one of the things that you brought up was that did Queen Latifah really even win in that situation? That's what it made me think about. Like, she ended up getting the person that her friend that she fell in love with, but was it a win? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think that's all perspective. I think one of the things that really made me grow up, like when from being a young adult to an adult, I think is the management of perspective. Because that's really the ultimate thing that makes that influences your mindset, it influences your emotional health, your mental health, is how you are looking at something. And that also is something that I had to really come to terms with in my faith walk. Because spiritually, it's like if I pray about it, it's
Mm.
handled. It is, God is working it out. There is no need to dig any deeper than that. The Bible says a mustard seed of faith. That thing, a mustard seed, is the most tiniest little thing. So if I can't let it go, you know what I mean? Like if I can't let it go, or if I can't change my mindset around it, I really do need to go into like fervent prayer to help to try to clarify that situation. And I think that, she probably chose like this, and we're talking about a movie, right? So it's a movie, it's a happy ending, blase, I get it. But this is such a real life
Right.
situation for so many women. And I think it ends up working because they have chosen to make this what it is. Like they have chosen to be of this mindset. And so it's a choice, you know? And you have to be good with that
Mhm.
choice.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. I it's so for me this is such a blessing because Chelsea's younger than me, but she's so wise. You know, and it's been great even as we've been talking about trying to figure out when we were going to do this because our schedules are both busy. But it's great to know that someone else who has credentials, who's smart. She's still very humble, down to earth, always been like that since we met however many years ago. Um and yet she, we're going through the same things, you know what I mean? But it isn't just us. You're right, it's prevalent for so many women on all different levels, and I do know, like, I know here better, but somehow here and here don't line up the way that they should be. And so that's been, my recent prayer. Of course I want things to work out. Of course I want marriages to be successful and for my friends to thrive. But it troubles me. I'm taking it to a place we probably didn't talk about, but within the church, how many of these situations are not being fulfilled and ending up in divorce? And like, what's really happening? Is it that they're not with ourselves before we get into the relationship, or is it that we just are people who just don't care for the long run, long haul? What is your take on that, and how can maybe more of us work together or encourage each other to like fight it out or be on? My take is that a lot of people are not on, and I feel like this even as a counselor, because even though I'm not married, I've done marriage counseling, I've done parent counseling, putting that in there not because of anything I've experienced, but I do not believe that a lot of people go into marriage whole, and I don't believe that they go in really they go in for the wrong reasons. A lot of people. So watching, feel free to share your thoughts. But Chelsea, what do you think about that? Because you were saying active, so
Well, yeah, I mean,
but there it ended up in divorce. So was the perspective wrong in the first place?
I think that okay, whew, so this is really deep. This is really layered. And it's interesting because I
Yeah.
posed a question on social media a couple weeks ago that ended up sparking so much conversation in my direct messages because people had a lot to say about it. And the first question was, can single, never been married people give marriage advice? And then the second question was, can people that have never birthed or raised children give parenting advice? And when I say the message just blew up. Like people were giving me all the tea. And I think it's interesting, how people view things and like what they feel valuable. So like for me, while I've never been married, I've been in a very long-term relationship. And so I have experience about, being in that situation, that may be a different perspective for someone that is in a marriage to consider. And so, there's a lot that could be listed out there, but I think it goes back to communication. Both people very early on in the relationship must communicate, and you have to communicate honestly, and you have to be vulnerable. You have to be transparent, because you cannot live every second of every day of your life as an Oscar winning actor. There will be days where the mask comes
Right.
off. Like the mask is going to come all the way off. And you
Right.
have to be prepared for those days very early on. And you have to know that you want to be ride or die. Like this is my life partner. Like we are in this. Like this is, I know him, he knows me, I know her, she knows me, whatever. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to know them more than just what they say they are, more than what they put on social media. Like you
Mm-hmm.
got to dig deep, right? And I don't know that everyone really digs to the depths of what they could, before jumping into a relationship. And so I know that for me, that's something I will value. I will value and cherish those moments where I can spend that quality time getting to know my partner in a way I never would have ever thought to be revealed. Like that to me is intimacy. That is what intimacy is. And when you
Yeah.
build that, that just really turns the relationship up to an entire different level, because when you can build that intimacy based on honesty, Lord have mercy, that is the icing on the cake.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just, and I know that for a lot of just people in the world, and especially at a time like this, like there's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff all the time. Like all the time people are
Mhm.
going through things that, they may not feel comfortable with talking about or sharing, especially to somebody that they're newly dating. That might be something that they're not ready to share, or they think, might be a little premature. um but there's a way that you can be honest without telling your business.
Okay.
And that just comes from your genuine, like being of genuine character. And that character you can't hide. Like it is what it is. It's all out there.
Very true. Very true. That is true. That's true. Cool. Wow. So I don't know. I think that relationships are just interesting. They take a lot of work, and I don't know. I used to think that all of them were worth it. Like I remember dating someone. They might be watching or they might see this. We both had communication. Like I started out as a music major, then I went to speech and drama. I was actually the first graduate of Virginia Union speech and drama department. Um,
Nice.
Back in blah 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 years ago. And so communication is really important to me. And you mentioned that. And I was like, how could two people who study communication in college not communicate? I don't understand that. And I do believe that communication is the key. Like, you're not feeling me, just tell me. Don't ghost me. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay to just be a man or woman and actually speak up to whoever your partner is and
Mm-hmm.
share your actual feelings or thoughts. But I realized, I guess in my 20 some years of being a counselor that a lot of people don't know how to communicate. You're right. And they would rather hold their feelings in instead of just being honest about whatever it is. And so it causes a whole bunch of other pain down the end of the road. And
Exactly.
that's
Hurt.
sad to me.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what you were talking about. So it's like a cyclical effect and it keeps on going. And then the other thing is that we won't go to counseling to get help because of course, black people don't need that. I'm really being sarcastic. I'm just like,
That's
it's okay to
so
get help.
Yeah, yeah, that's really unfortunate. And it's so much value in therapy and counseling. And it's such a revealing moment to yourself. And that's really the most primary issue, not being honest with yourself. When can you grow up enough to know the amount of honesty you need with the person in the mirror first, and making room to allow that to be okay? It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with, how you think, or that it may be some things that you have to work out, but if you don't acknowledge, how can you work it out?
Mhm.
I I
Good
I
question.
remember when I decided to start my weight loss journey. I was saying part of why I did that was, um, I said, how can I get someone else to want to commit to me if I cannot commit wholly and fully to myself, if I cannot live in my personal commitment to Chelsey every moment of every day, knowing that everything I put in my mouth, every exercise every exercise I do or whatever, all of that is going to impact my weight. It's going to impact my health, my physical health, my mental health. If I cannot make that type of moment to moment commitment to myself, how can I expect anybody else to? And so, I said, you have to stay, you have to take drastic measures to show up for yourself, and it's a beautiful thing. It can be a really beautiful thing.
Yeah. When you told me that, I was just like, because I'm at that crossroads where I know I could definitely, improve upon my health. And that at least, made me think this is what I want people to get. We're not trying to change the world. We're just dropping seeds, things that we've experienced, things that we've
Yeah.
seen,
Yeah.
and every time we talk about it, like you saying that is something that I've thought about, since. And you're right. At some point, thought has to turn into action. And that's in anything we do. But it doesn't ever hurt to hear the information. You never know when speaking up or saying something might help or heal someone else from making their decision. And I've complimented you look great. I'm like, she
Well,
could do
thank
it. I've seen some other people,
Yeah.
who have done the same thing. Alethea, she may not be watching this, but she went to union with me when I look at her. And so shout out to Alethea. Just who has been able to maintain her weight or whatever. Anybody that I know that's gone through this journey and been able to actually prosper, health wise, I think it's awesome. Awesome. So
Well,
congratulations on
thank
that.
you.
Maybe
I
one day
mean,
I'll get
I
there.
really appreciate that, and I always say, I'm grateful for that. It really is an everyday thing, though. Like, it's not just something that you do, and then it's over. Like, it's literally an everyday thing, every meal decision, and I think that the most beautiful part about that, to loop it all the way back to the movie, is what the woman wrote under your comments about making standards for yourself. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's making a personal standard that you commit to, which gives you the mental discipline to start creating other standards for other parts of your life, right? So then that turns into, I ain't taking this from somebody, or I'm not taking this from this arena of my life, or I'm not taking this from this, because you have learned how to focus on really prioritizing what you want out of life, like what keeps that joy going in your emotional motor, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I think that this was cool.
yeah,
I'm good. Like if you let you have something else to say, we've done 30 minutes.
this is beautiful. It was so great to talk. I'm glad we could finally do it.
Yes, we have to do it more. Like I would definitely love to talk about the music business stuff that,
Oh my
things
goodness,
that we've
that's a
had to
whole nother
endure.
thing.
It is. That might be a more lengthier one. Who knows? Like one of the things that I will say this, shout out to Philip Carter. Today he posted, it's an independent gospel artist alliance group. And he posted in the group today. If you haven't joined, it's just good to join. Just the information that I've learned, even though I know I feel like we can always learn more. And so he posted a video today, and the guy was talking about at this time, pretty much making sure we're doing the best that we can do, or not the best, but being productive during this time. And there's a lot of things, getting our writing game up, recording, singing, like the things that we can do while we're home, actually doing it. Trying to actually do that, and how we can capitalize on it. I think that if we do that, then it actually can benefit us. And so you never know, this one thing could spark something completely different. You never know how this might turn out, but this all came from having a conversation. I'm gonna say this, and this has nothing really to do with the movie, more so on the music stuff. And we shared a little bit about it yesterday. Support is huge for me. And I am very appreciative that you have never looked down on me or acted like I got all together, I'm doing this and you're just doing this. You've never ever treated me any differently. And for the people such as yourself, or there's a lot of national artists that I've some background for, or whatever, that I'm still cool with. My boy Kevin Teasley, who, like, both of y'all were at the Grammys. Like, I'm thankful for the connections that I've made with people, but for the people who still don't act like, oh, I knew you. We went to college together, and he still treats me the same way, whenever we speak. I appreciate that you've never ever changed since I've known you, and that makes it a lot easier to have conversations, and to want to open up about other things that are going on. So I pray that you continue to stay Chelsey Green, the
Oh,
person that I met, years ago. Thanks to Chris Davis for bringing you to Cornerstone Peace Bible Baptist Church, because that's where I met you. And I just pray that God continues to bless your ministry, whether it's singing or playing. Like, you're just awesome, and I mean
oh, that's
it.
so
So,
sweet. Thank you. That means so much to me, and I wouldn't even know how to change, because God has been too good, and I just always am grateful for everyone that has ever showed me love and support. So that's the only way I operate in this camp.
yeah.
So I am grateful to know you, and I'm grateful God put you in my life, and I look forward to us
Oh,
doing this again at
yes.
some
We
point in the
definitely got to find the
future.
time.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And for those who tuned in, thanks for like just listening. And those who are going to watch later, you can find me on YouTube, One Singing Lady spelled out, and or LisaLGilliam.com. Chelsey, tell them where they can find you.
My Facebook page, Chelsey Green and the Green Project. That's Chelsey with a Y, Chelsey, and green like the color. And on Instagram, we're also on Instagram at Green Violinist. And what's your Instagram?
One Singing Lady, the number one. So one sing. So
You
this
got to show your
is
shirt.
my,
Yeah.
without the hashtag. Oh, hashtag. But One Singing Lady, but on YouTube it's spelled all the way out. So yes, please like us, follow us, share, subscribe. You don't know how much, as independent artists, when you all share what we do, how it actually opens us our information out to other people who haven't heard us. Don't think because either of us have done national shows or even international sales, that means that everybody knows about it. So we need you, those people who do know us and know that we're real people, like down to earth people, not stuck up people. Please like and support and share us. So
Yes.
You have anything else you want to share?
No, let's go ahead and let people get ready for this Teddy Riley Babyface rematch.
Yes. Yes, because I did check out some of the YouTube
Oh
videos,
my
and what everybody said was hilarious.
I
They were
cannot wait. I
correct.
cannot wait.
I
Okay, I'm
know.
about to eat some dinner and get right
Sounds
back.
good.
Have a good
All right,
night.
you have a good one, Chelsea. Bye, everybody.
Bye.